Yo, I just came in this motherfucker from work, right? And I ain't gonna hold you. I was watching this video yesterday. That jump was cool, but I was too tired to finish it. I got 16 minutes in, and I'm probably gonna have to re-react to the whole thing because it's gonna be dumb. Because I feel like the video too long. I'm probably have to do an hour and an hour because the video long as hell. It's 2 hours long. So first off, go ahead back to this video, and well, I'm going to look 16 minutes. Oh shit. I think I clicked it. I'm not sure.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it just by thinking
Move,
about it.
man.
Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform. Describe
Fucking dumbass dogs.
New
Always fucking
details
crying.
just released about the identity of the
Yeah,
person
nah,
found
this
wrapped
this
in
jump just went
plastic
backwards.
discovered in the
I ain't
I'm
even
right here
know.
trying to.
You
Talk
trying to
about.
I'll
work
go
this
forward and
out
backward.
in a
Yeah,
video
this nigga
Yes.
was
because you punched me in my face.
this nigga was right here crying and pouring this hot out to this bride, and she real loud busy like, fuck that shit, nigga. I'm done. Bro wasn't trying to be done, and she was. I don't even remember. Oh, oh yeah. He walked in, baby, and got shot. All right, boom. Yeah, I don't, man. Bro, I ain't with no shit like that, man. That nigga, bro, like, if she telling you that, she telling you that, bro. That's for a reason. Cause you already know what time it is, man. If you don't, you don't. But you dumb if you don't. On me, I ain't gonna hold you. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish watching this jump.
And I've done that. And
Dragged me
I've
off the
told you that.
bed,
I've done that.
got on
I've
top
done
of me
that.
and choked me.
Babe.
Tyree had been physically abusive. He had punched Autumn in the face just 1 week before this recording. He had choked her, dragged her from the bed, and yet here he was begging her to stay. But the conversation revealed something else equally disturbing: Autumn's complete emotional detachment. While Tyree poured out his heart, admitting his failures and begging for another chance, her responses were cold, calculated, and dismissive. This was a toxic cycle of abuse, manipulation, and emotional warfare that was building towards something catastrophic.
Babe, but you gotta understand, I'm out of town for 4 days. I'll come back home.
You
Everything
come back
that I
home
have is just.
with bitches' numbers in your phone. You're
You
on the
right.
phone with
I
bitches
did.
while I'm in the
You
kitchen.
right.
You're in the living room.
I was not on the phone with no bitch while you was in the kitchen and I was in the living room.
You didn't know
I swear
was
to
in the
God.
kitchen.
I swear to God, I wasn't
heard
on the
it.
phone with no bitch in the living room while you was in the kitchen. I would never do no shit like that. I wouldn't even call no bitch in my house with you right here. That's so disrespectful. You might have thought I was on the phone with a bitch. I wasn't.
Well, besides,
I wasn't on the phone with a bitch. I'm telling you, I wasn't on the phone with a bitch in the living room with you right here. I wouldn't even do no
Okay,
shit
so
like
maybe
that.
I just misheard. But
Maybe you misheard. Like I said, I wouldn't do no shit like that. That's beyond disrespectful. I would be super mad you did some shit like that to me. I wouldn't do no shit like that. That's not even. That's drawing a
the
line.
disrespect is
You're right. I've done a lot of disrespectful shit. I've done a
both
lot
of
of
us,
fucked
and I
up shit.
feel like,
Right,
why
and we
would you
can
want to
fix
be
it.
with somebody like that?
Because I understand that. I play a role in why all this is this way, babe. I love you. You're beautiful to me. I love you from the bottom of my heart. When you get your body done, you're gonna be A1 day one. I'm gonna still continue to love you. I've still loved you the whole time we were together. I've told
How do
myself
you think
that I
that's
can't.
love?
I told myself that
How do you think that's love, Tyree?
I think it's love because I can always still pull you close to me regardless of
Because
how I
I've
feel.
always just been accessible to you.
No.
And now I'm
I
just
don't
going to
think
cut
you're.
off the accessibility.
And I'm telling you
And I
that.
think that you should just be grown enough to say, let's just make these last months count.
Now seeing that, and it just makes me so mad because now it took me this long to take the initiative to make this shit work. Babe, I don't want to lose my relationship. You got power in you to with your smart ass to hold on to everything. Please get off your phone. Is
Dude,
I don't see what the problem is. I don't see what the problem is.
You
I'm
don't
not
have to
taking
pay
anything
for my
from you.
body.
I don't care about that shit. I want to do it because of the shit I put you through. But I want you to understand we have a child. We have to raise for 18
Yeah,
years.
and we
Listen,
can
listen,
raise
listen,
him.
listen, 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 listen. Co-parenting sucks. I don't give a fuck who tells you that. He's missing.
not when
I'm gonna tell you. Right to peace, shorty. Co-parenting don't suck. Me and my baby mothers, both of my baby mothers, two different ones, and we co-parent with no problem. We implement. my fiance in that shit, and it's no problems between them two. There's no problems between me and my baby mothers. It's really more so if you are grown enough for fucking co-parenting, then you are. If you're not, then you're not. If you still got feelings involved and you trying to do something with your child's parent, that shit ain't gonna never work. If one of y'all feel some type of way, it's never co-parenting is not gonna work. Man, my baby mother's cool. My baby mother's cool with each other. My baby mother's and my fiance, all three cool. So it's really the age, and I'm 32, they 35. So it's kind of most. It's not even an age thing; it's a maturity thing. I'm not gonna hold you. If you mature enough for co-parenting, then you are. It's not no whatever he about to say. I don't agree with that shit.
He's missing two perspectives every single day. He's missing two perspectives every. I'm just giving you real shit. He's missing two perspectives every single day, and in order for him to be a man,
Are you a man? And you have both parents. Are you a man? Do you think
yes,
you're a
I
man?
think I'm a man. I think I
You
show.
think you're a man?
Yes, and I feel as if I definitely don't show characteristics of a man all the time, and I do fucked up shit that'll present me to be a. But
That bitch about to tell that man that he ain't no man, and that's more so like one of the worst things that you can say to a nigga that's actually trying. You can hear that nigga even saying out his mouth. Yeah, it's some shit that I fuck up at, some shit that I can't. But hell yeah, my man, you can't sit around and tell no fucking grown ass man that he not no man. That bitch.
I am a man. I stand on all 10. I never folded on
Stand
my
on all
family. I
10, never
always
folding
been there.
on
Anything
nobody.
financially wise, I never folded. I've been there, bro. You can't say I ain't my job. I stand on my 10. I stand on my 10, bro. I give you shit that I don't even want to do. I still do it because
Like what?
that's man like paying for your last class. I wanted to spend all my money in LA. So I'm gonna look out for her. I'm gonna help her. Boom. Next time I want to spend all my money in LA. I'm gonna pay for the surgery. I'm gonna help her out. I'm gonna help her deal with her bills. Help her do with her own.
So
Be
okay,
happy.
listen.
I
Other
feel
than
like-
other than materialistic things, what do you offer in this relationship? Other than materialistic things, so that support.
Yes.
So cheating on me my whole pregnancy, that's support.
Babe, you can't bring up from 3 years ago.
Okay, so punching me in my face 7 days ago, that's
That's
support.
wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. You're right. That's the type of conversation I want to have, though. So I can improve, so I can fix myself, so I
Nigga.
can just build. You think that this doesn't help
Do
me,
you
but
realize
this
that
really does help me.
This relationship literally drives you crazy.
I don't think it drives me crazy. I love the relationship so much it drives me crazy when I lose it.
But
That's the problem.
But I feel like you the one that
Ooh,
lost
ooh, fire. That nigga said, I love the relationship so much, I feel lost when I lose it. Damn.
I admit I
So-
lost it. I played a role in us losing the
I
relationship.
played a role
The
in us
irony
losing our
was
relationship,
staggering.
correct. But that
While
don't mean I
Tyree was
don't love
denying
this
phone
shit.
calls with
Stupid
other
bitch.
women, Autumn was literally living a double life with another man. She was accusing him of disrespect while she was being intimate with Trey, planning
whole
a
time this bitch
future
fucking
with
Trey.
and using Tyree's money to prepare for
I
that
forgot
future.
that part.
But perhaps the most revealing part of this entire conversation was what Autumn didn't say. She never once mentioned that she had been seeing someone else. She never admitted to her own infidelity. Instead, she let Tyree grovel, beg, and blame himself for everything wrong in their relationship. By June 2022, their son Cody had been born, but instead of bringing them together, the child became another source of conflict. Tyree was a devoted father who wanted to be present in his son's life every day. Autumn, however, had different plans. She moved out of their shared home and went to live with her mother, but she didn't cut ties completely. She kept Tyree on the hook, allowing him to visit, to spend time with Cody, to believe that reconciliation was still possible. Meanwhile, her relationship with Trey was intensifying. They were spending nights together, making plans, and building the foundation for what she saw as her real future.
That's why you
Tyree
never
was
trust
the
a dirty,
past,
stinking
Trey
bitch.
was her future, and Cody was the bridge between both worlds. The week leading up to June 13th, 2022 was particularly volatile. Tyree had been calling, texting, and trying to see Cody. Autumn was giving him mixed signals, sometimes warm and accommodating, other times cold and dismissive. On June 12th, the night before the shooting, Autumn and Trey had been drinking and spending intimate time together at her mother's house. According to Autumn's own account, they went upstairs around 2:50 a.m. and laid down in bed together. At 3:28 a.m., everything changed. Tyree Richardson used his door code, the same code he'd always had, to enter what he still considered his family's home, but it was actually her mother's house. He took off his shoes before walking upstairs, a sign that he intended to stay, to sleep, to be present for his son.
If this nigga got the door key code, 100% got the door key. Man, get the. Man, I'm telling you, bro. I'm about to clip your nails. On God, I'm about to clip your nails, Otto. You keep doing this shit. Anyway, this nigga got the door key code. You mean to tell me Shawty ain't still fucking with Slim? She ain't still doing a little something? Man, hold on. Y'all can't see me. Man. Hold up. You mean to tell me you don't think that bitch doing a little something? Maybe. Maybe something. Possibly something. Fuck out of here. This nigga pulled up to the motherfucking spot. 3 o'clock in the morning, 3:30 in the morning, put up to the spot to her mother house where her and the baby sleep at. Put up to her mother house on some boom, kick my feet up, kick my shoes off at the door. Foop, foop. What you think that mean? What's going on after I kick my shoes off at the door? I ain't coming in this motherfucker to walk around and say, oh, and make sure my baby sleep. Bitch, I'm coming in this motherfucker to go to bed. The fuck? That bitch in that motherfucker
What he
laid
found
up.
instead was the woman he loved in bed with another man. What happened next would be debated in courtrooms,
Fucking up, y'all, my bad.
argued in social media comments, and analyzed by forensic experts. But one thing was undeniable. By 3:32 a.m., Tyree Richardson was dead, shot 16 times, with most of the bullets hitting him in the back. But was this self-defense? Or was this the final act of an elaborate plan that began 2 years earlier on Tyree's birthday? According to Autumn's account, she and Trey were asleep when Tyree arrived, but the forensic evidence tells a different story. The autopsy revealed that Tyree was shot while lying on the bed, not standing in a doorway as Autumn initially claimed. Multiple bullets struck him in the back, suggesting he wasn't facing his attacker when the shooting began. 16 shots. In a house with other family members sleeping nearby. In a neighborhood where children lived. The excessive nature of the shooting raised immediate red flags for investigators. At 3:32 a.m.
How the fuck am I thinking that this nigga walked in the house in real life, was trying to see them laying in the bed and tried to get into it with the nigga, tussle a little boop pop, fuka fuck up, little wrestle here, little razzle dazzle, boop pop, boop pop. Fuck no, this nigga was laying in the bed already. So that means Shawty told the nigga to come over there because he had the key to get in. He had the door code to get in upstairs. His shoes was already on the floor already. They ain't trying to say that though. But his shoes was already on the floor downstairs. She tried to put that together. Man, fry this bitch.
a.m., emergency services received a frantic 911 call. But it wasn't Autumn who made that call. It was her sister.
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code.
Man, I'll get YouTube TV if y'all want me to.
This is the first look at.
Put that in the comments if you want a nigga to get YouTube TV. So we ain't got to worry about no more motherfucking. So we ain't got to worry about no motherfucking, what's it called? Ads. I'm gonna rewind this because of that one lady who said I was talking during the video. Hope I ain't go back too far.
Shots. In a house with other family members sleeping nearby. In a neighborhood where children lived. The excessive nature of the shooting raised immediate red flags for investigators. At 3:32 a.m., emergency services received a frantic 911 call. But it wasn't Autumn who made that call. It was her sister.
They're not starting, okay? I have more questions. No, I need somebody. They are getting not started. I'm going to continue to ask questions, okay? Are you listening now? Yes, I'm baby. How old is he? Is he awake? Is he breathing? Okay, just to clarify, is he breathing? No, he's starting to. Okay, listen carefully. Are you recording now? it now? You know, phone as well as possible. Don't hang up. Do it now and tell me when it's done. Do what? Get the phone as well as possible. Don't hang up. Do it now and tell me when it's done. Okay, listen carefully. Lay it flat on his back on the floor around and remove anything under his head. Remove what? Remove anything under his head. Lay him flat on his back on the floor. Okay, listen carefully and I'll tell you how to do chest compression. Make sure he is flat on his back on the floor and round. Place the heel of your hands on the breastbone.
Talking like shit on mute. The lady is on the phone. The dispatch lady on the phone telling the sister to lay him flat on his back, make sure there ain't nothing under his head, so she can start chest compressions. Bro, this man chest is on the fucking ground. Fuck do you mean chest compressions? He got hit 16 times in his back, his whole chest on the floor. What the fuck? Man, do 911 fucking call centers be really using their head? Like, you asking this lady to do chest compressions, boom. Feel that. Yeah, I don't know how to feel about that. Fuck that. I don't know.
Every 3 minutes. Get easy, you have to do this. Place your heel of your hand on the breastbone or place your other hand on top of that hand. Yes. Now I want you to pump the chest very fast, at least twice per second, and 2 inches deep. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. I want you to pump every time I'm counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3,
Oh, that's
4.
so fucked up.
2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's okay. You're doing great. 1, 2, 3, 4. You have a lot of help on the way. Keep going, Daisy, okay? How old is he? 20 years old. Hey, come here, buddy. Okay, are you gonna go back? We have to go back and do compressions, okay? This is update on compressions. Okay.
For a lot of patient advocacy groups and others who are focused on affordability
Damn,
issues and
baby. I know
access
this
issues.
is the trash. Oh me. Sister's gonna be traumatized.
If you listened carefully to that call, you would hear that while paramedics were desperately trying to save Tyree's life, you can hear Autumn calling for the family dog. Come on, baby. Come on. Her priorities in that moment would become a source of outrage for Tyree's family and the public who would later hear this recording. A man, the father of her child, was dying in front of her, and she was concerned about finding a pet? Terrence Kenneth Yancey fled the scene immediately after the shooting, but he didn't get far. A massive manhunt ensued, and within 24 hours, he was captured hiding in a wooded area in Dunkirk, Maryland. The prosecution offered him a plea deal, 3 to 8 years in prison. It was an insult to Tyree's family, but they prepared for the possibility that justice might be limited. Then something unexpected happened.
He took it to
Terrence
trial.
turned down the plea deal. Why would someone facing murder charges reject such a lenient offer? Terrence genuinely believed he had done nothing wrong. In his mind, he was protecting Autumn from a dangerous ex-boyfriend. He felt justified in emptying his clip into an unarmed man. This decision to go to trial would prove to be a crucial mistake, not just for Terrence, but potentially for Autumn as well.
Right.
During the trial, disturbing details emerged. The
Oof.
forensic evidence contradicted the initial narrative of self-defense. Bullet trajectories showed that at least some of the shots were fired downward, indicating that Terrence stood over Tyree as he lay wounded or dying. But perhaps most damaging was testimony from other witnesses. The homeowner testified that Tyree lived there, contradicting later claims that he was an unwelcome intruder. Phone records showed ongoing communication between Tyree and Autumn right up until the night of the shooting. The jury convicted Terrence Kenneth Yancey of voluntary manslaughter and multiple firearms violations. He was sentenced to 18 years in prison. Justice, it seemed, had been served.
They
But for
only got
Tyree's
18?
family, this was just the beginning of their fight. After his passing, the family of Tyree had gone on his Instagram and posted a phone conversation between them and Autumn's mother.
Cody is family, which makes y'all family. We have to be family. And at the end of the day, if we just think about what Tyree wants, that's all that matters. It's not about me. But see, Roger, and you gotta also know what you're dealing with in front of you. You know, that was like, they all just, they could fight, fist fight literally, and then be mad at each other for a week, but they brothers. That's what brothers do. But at the end of the day, Cody can't. We know Cody loves Tyree. He loves us. He loves y'all. He loves everybody. He's blessed enough to have a family. But I just wanted to give the backstory because, and I've been telling, like, have Autumn call me. Like, I want to talk to her. She needs to understand. I bet she is. And and we're all just, everybody's just trying to be there for her, but it's like she knows how to, she talked to her, and in the middle of it, she'll just stop and start crying. Yeah. You know, I want to say this, because it's like, you know, I was getting a lot of, you know, messages to my phone, and I got screenshots, unsolicited, I didn't ask for, people just sending them. You know, I seen something Michael posted, and it's just like, if anybody thinks that I have any control over Autumn, a Taurus, a 20-year-old, right, but and you know what? I'm not even mad at her about that because at the end of the day, we all human and they young. And I can go back to when I was in my relationship 20 years ago. I'm 45. We've been married for 23 years. We weren't perfect either. So nobody's perfect. But sometimes you have to find that it's just unfortunate that it ended the way that it did. And I know from my son's side, I know from my son's side, he would have, if he knew what he was walking into, he would not have walked into that situation the way that he did. And that could have been a bad situation for the other person. He probably wouldn't. Right. And so unfortunately that person, they have to now deal with that for the rest of their life. But I did want her to understand that what I was initially told reflected my reaction. But as I've been working closely with the detectives, like they have been saying, you know, they have been confirming and they have been, you know, well, this is what happened. And at the end of the day, it can't bring Tyree back. So I can't really fester on it. But what I can do is I can't allow our family to be broken over what should have happened. Like everybody makes their own decisions, and I don't. And I think, as I told you in the message when you sent to Roger, this is Tyree's mom. I don't do social media. Just call me because I know that things can be. I thought you were saying like I'm not no.
And action. Very exciting. We're on set for the new Swiss tourism ad with Hollywood icon.
Right. But I know that's the lifestyle that he chose. This life, I didn't expect that. Just being in love, like right. He died to his heart. But at the end of the day, he wouldn't have had it no other way because that is who he wanted. He didn't care under no circumstances. So I can accept some of that. And like I said, Autumn would deal and have to heal in her own process. But I wanted her to go forward understanding like what our family's position was. I'm not mad at her. I'm not judging her. If that's what she chose to do, like that's on her. Like I can't fight Tyree battles because I know
Mom not even mad at Shorty until she found out what Shorty did. On me, it's going down.
Tyree wouldn't have felt that way. He didn't feel that way. The boy Trey has, from my understanding, has been around. They've been back and forth. So they still would go back. That's what young people do. So it's just so crazy, man. And so I want you to let your family know, like we had no idea about Autumn and the things she was doing. Like, we had no idea. We had no control. And even my brother, we were on FaceTime with my brother last night, and he was going in. He was saying all this shit to Autumn, and I had to text him. I said, you need to calm down a little bit. You're just being a little too harsh. But I said, you're saying some real ass shit, though, and she needed to hear it. But at the end of the day, it's just like, people saying, how can people respond? Y'all weren't there, so y'all not really getting the story 100%. Even the police didn't give y'all 100% story, and that's very clear based off what Zoe just said to me, that, the police just kind of gave y'all, like, a in between the lines kind of thing. So
yeah, so I just
want the whole time. So if you have any questions, Autumn is not in a position to talk. She's constantly quiet.
No, and I understand, but I just want to say this, and I want you to relay the message. Autumn, it has always been like my daughter through Tyree and her up and downs. I have never ever got into any of the situational problems. I've known about everything. The other guy, I gotta actually kill him. I know about all of that, and I have never, as a parent, has been a type that either, took sides or anything like that. But with that being said, I want you to understand what happened yesterday, because Autumn probably doesn't even know, because she was so irate. As a parent, and you have 3 children, so put yourself in my shoes.
That's what I've been doing.
And as I arrive on the scene, they tell me my son is in there, and that's already confirmed. They didn't have to say he was deceased. That confirmed he was deceased. And so I'm asking questions like, well, who did it? And it was like, well, her new boyfriend. And so my reaction is based off of that, because I'm like, well, was he
set? That's what Zoe just said. That's why I said.
And I'm like, was he set up? Like, new boyfriend?
Stay with me. She was crying. JC said Autumn was such a mess that she had to take the phone and call 911 herself, because JC was like, I know that when you call 911 crying, they will hang up on you. So JC was like, I called 911. She said Tyree opened his eyes one time and closed them immediately, and it was just like he was gone ever since then. And she was just like, the first phone call Autumn said the first phone call she made was you. And she was just like so shook. Like even like JC was, I feel like everybody was on a high for like the first, I want to say maybe 10 to 12 hours. But later in that day, JC was traumatized. She texted me, and because I was like, we're all on through FaceTime, come join. And she was like, I can't, parents, like, I cannot get Tyree's image out of my mind. I can't talk to Autumn right now. Like, and she was like, Autumn said when she called you, when you got there, she ran out, was on the ground with you, and she just was like, she didn't get a chance to explain anything.
She didn't, because they separated us. But at the first separation, that was what they said. So
but like the thing is, it's unfortunate because this is my sister, and I love her, and I would never say anything to make her feel guilty, but she should not have had him in my mom's house, man. And I can't tell you how many times my mom has argued with Autumn because she felt like ever since she moved in, she was just disrespecting her house. She was like, I come home, you don't clean, y'all got these dogs in here, you didn't ask to bring the dogs in here.
And I was even asking Tyree, I said, Autumn mother allowed this? He's like, yeah, she cool, because I'm thinking, okay, like, I know Sheena.
Grown to be past it. She don't agree with it, but it's like, she's to an age where she just don't want to be with her kids no more. And so she don't always speak up like the way she used to.
Because I sure asked, because I know what I would allow.
She did not mess with the dogs being there. And let me tell you something. My mom cried to me because she was just like, I told Autumn.
Hey everybody. I'm Tyree's mom, Lindsay, and
I'm his father, Roger.
So we just wanted to take this opportunity to come on his page and, kind of talk about this journey that we have been on. We want to kind of give some of the back history to what caused us to take this journey.
After 2 years of watching their grandson grow up in the hands of the woman they believed orchestrated their son's death, Lindsay and Roger Richardson had endured enough.
2 years later, I had finally decided to tell his story. People that have never been through this can't judge me. They can't tell you the pain that I experience daily. It's a feeling when you wake up every single morning and your heart is broke and you look forward to going to bed every single night just so that's the only relief of pain that you get. And that's 2 years later. God knows exactly what happened, exactly what the intentions were, and exactly what the expectations were. I'm not here to judge anyone. So no matter what she says about me or my family, it's irrelevant. Words, when we grew up, my mother always told me words don't hurt you. Your words will never hurt me. What you did do that hurt me was you took something that was important, which was my son. So you can say whatever you want to say. You can never give me back what I brought into this world.
The pain in Lindsay Richardson's voice was unmistakable, but it was her husband Roger who delivered the most pointed accusations.
Be careful who you let in your house, because you can love people more than people love you. It's going on every day in, day out. People got alternative motives. And the only motive I can read in this whole story is you let somebody get up on somebody. And everybody, definitely young people, it was almost like the play. And y'all ran the play. But I want to clear another part of that statement up. Tyree ain't kicked no door in. Tyree ain't pried no door. He ain't come through the back door. He hit the code. We all got codes on doors. He hit the code on the door. Opened the door.
Just like she had to go to our house.
Pretty much.
But would never have to worry about walking in here getting laid out.
This could have went either way, y'all. I'm telling y'all, I don't call it honest truth. This could have went either way, and I respect that. But at the end of the day, if Tyree would have known who was in that house, he wouldn't have put himself in that situation. And he was in that situation because of his love, of what he thought was genuine. And genuine wasn't nothing but a fraud, a fake, and a phony.
Materialistic.
Exactly what I got.
The Richardson family's decision to speak publicly had an unexpected consequence. It prompted Autumn Anderson to respond, and her response would prove to be the biggest mistake she ever made. Instead of staying quiet, instead of letting sleeping dogs lie, Autumn decided to tell her story on social media. She created YouTube videos, went on live streams, and gave detailed accounts of what happened that night. Her goal was to clear her name and counter the Richardson family's accusations. The result was exactly the opposite.
And I haven't told this story in so long because this happened 2 years ago, and this is something that I literally have to relive every day. It's not one day that I don't think about something from that day. It's not one day where I'm not reminded of what happened that day. When I tell y'all, this is something that I've been trying to heal from since the day that it happened. So for me to come on here and tell y'all these details, it's very hard for me to do that. It's very traumatizing.
But as Autumn told her story, viewers noticed something disturbing. Her demeanor didn't match her words. She claimed the experience was traumatizing, but her tone was casual, almost conversational. She said she thought about it every day, but she showed no visible signs of distress. More importantly, her story contained inconsistencies that raised serious questions about her credibility. She insisted that she and Trey were just sleeping when Tyree arrived, but her timeline suggested they had only been in bed for about 40 minutes. Each detail, when examined closely, painted a picture of someone who wasn't telling the complete truth. And then, the case was reopened. Calvert County Police Department had been watching Autumn's social media statements, and her public comments had provided them with new avenues to investigate. They were no longer just looking at Terrence Kenneth Yancey. They were looking at potential conspiracy charges.
The detectives knew what they were dealing with. They knew it wasn't all truth to the story. But sometimes when you think, right? Timing is everything. So we decide to celebrate Tyree's life, his legacy. You feel like you have to defend yourself. And in defending yourself, you actually tell some of the truths that was never told before. And what you have to realize, you should never forget what you say or do. Because one thing is, when you're honest, it's the truth. Whether it's now or 2 years later, you're never going to forget what you say. When you're not honest, you end up telling on yourself. And you end up telling the truth.
Today, Tyree Richardson rests in peace, but his case remains very much alive. His parents continue to fight for what they believe is complete justice. Their grandson, Cody, grows up without his father, caught between two families with very different versions of the truth.
He's scratching.
That's okay.
It's Daddy.
Yes.
Who's that right there? Who's that?
That's
it's
Ty walking.
Huh? It's Daddy.
Mm-hmm.
Autumn Anderson walks free, raising the child she shares with the man she may have helped set up for death. But her freedom may be temporary. Investigators are building a case, and her own words may be the evidence that finally brings her to justice. Terrence Kenneth Yancey serves his sentence, but legal experts suggest he might be willing to cooperate with authorities if it means reducing his time behind bars. The truth, as it often does, remains somewhere in the shadows. Also, there was a lot more that Autumn had to say about what happened that night, and then we would also hear from Tyree's parents about who they really believe is guilty for their son's death. After that, I would let you decide what to think about the whole situation.
Autumn, I am Tyree's son's mother. I am who the FSO Gunk story on Instagram is about. I'm finally coming on here to say something after almost 2 weeks of all of this starting, because I know why it's starting. I know the objective, and I wanted to get in front of it before the rumors and the lies and manipulative, theories and things like that are being put out about me get too far. I feel like they already kind of have gotten too far, and I was going to stay quiet because this is something that's happened almost 2 years ago. And for me to relive something that happened from 2 years ago that to this day I'm still healing from, I'm still trying to move forward from, it was very hard for me to choose what I should do. So I met both Tyree and Trey. When I first met Tyree, I met him in 2017. I met him in my freshman year of high school. We didn't start dating until the end of my 10th grade year in high school. I had moved out, I moved with my grandparents, and I had ended up transferring schools. When I transferred schools, me and him, we were closer in proximity as far as the area that I was living in, and so it was just, we just started hanging out, started getting closer, and we ended up dating. We ended up breaking up in the summer of 2019 in June. Now, in the summer of 2019 when we broke up is when I met Trey. Trey is who killed him the night of June 13th. When I met Trey through a mutual friend of mine who I've been friends with for years prior to. I met him the day I was going to my mom's house. My mom was having a cookout. And I went to my friend's house to go pick her up for the cookout, and he was there. They knew each other through some family stuff and just called each other brother and sister or whatever the case may be. Now, that was then. That was in 2019. Trey had ended up coming with me and my friend to my mother's house for the cookout. This is in June of 2019. Mind you, me and Tyree break up. It's fresh. It just happened. So I didn't really know Trey. I knew of him. He had been around in a couple of occasions, but we never formally met up until this day. Since then, we just started to get to know each other from that cookout. Now, even though Trey and I, we never dated. We were never boyfriend and girlfriend, but we did get very, very close, and we got almost to that point with each other. Now, in the whole summer, Tyree was doing his thing, I was doing my thing. We didn't rekindle up until Labor Day. Is it Labor Day weekend? I think it's Labor Day. I think it's Labor Day in September. School had just started, I believe, and he had hit me up and was just like, you know, let's try it out again. Let's try to, you know, make shit right between us. And we did just that, but it was not exclusive. I was not exclusive to him. And he knew that. He knew who I was dealing with, I believe, through like Instagram at the time. I'm not too sure about when he found out who I was dealing with or how he found out who I was dealing with, but he did not know him. They did not know each other. After him reaching out to me to rekindle, I was dealing with the both of them. Now, this is the part where I want to like interject, because I know I was dealing with the both of them. They both knew that I was dealing with the both of them. Trey and Tyree, they never crossed paths. They did both speak on the phone on both ends. One day I was over at Tyree's house. Trey had called me. Tyree had answered. They exchanged words. And one time I was over at Trey's house. Tyree had called him. Well, called me, and Trey had answered, and they exchanged words. So I do want to add that part in because that's important as well in this story. Only just because I just want to emphasize the fact that they never crossed paths, they never met, but they definitely did have words exchanged during that time period. If you're young and you're dealing with more than one person, then you know how that is. And on social media, everybody's just acting like that they've never been in that situation. But, you know, to each his own. Now, me and Trey ended up getting closer towards the end of the year of 2019. So I want to say like November, December, January, we were starting to get closer. And I was starting to lean more on the side of, you know, taking him serious on a relationship aspect of things. I had ended up going through his phone January of 2020, saying something I didn't like. And so I started talking back to Tyree again. Now, me and Trey had ended things. We ended things. I left his house. It was a whole, like, you know, argument between him and I. Left his house, and I started talking back to Tyree again. I would say March, we ended up getting back together officially. And only because COVID had hit. And when COVID hit, we weren't going to school physically anymore. Now, like I said in the beginning of the video, I live with my grandparents. I used to take clients out of my basement in my grandparents' house. When COVID hit, they're older. The idea of me taking clients in the house, it was just a no. So I started taking clients in Tyree's house, and I started taking clients at my friend's house. I ended up staying at Tyree's house from that because I would take clients every day. I just wouldn't end up going back home. At the time, I'm 17. At the end of March, beginning of April, I had got pregnant with my son. When I got pregnant with my son, that kind of sealed the deal as far as like my living arrangements. I just ended up like moving into his house, like slowly but surely going back home, getting more clothes, bringing my stuff over there, things like that.
Build a website you love with Wix. For your words, create your brand.
After we decided to, go through with my pregnancy, we were really trying to make things work for, what we were about to be, which was a family at that time. Things got rocky between Tyree and I at the very end of my pregnancy. My cousin had called me. It was 3 weeks before our baby shower. And it's some girl on Instagram, and she posting about Tyree trying to fly her out, posting that they've been talking since the beginning of the year, which the beginning of the year is when I got pregnant. And so finding that out, I was like so stuck because I'm like, damn, I'm 18 at the time. I had turned 18 in May, and I'm pregnant. I'm 8 months pregnant, so it's no going back on the decision, to keep the baby. Everything is already prepared for my son when he gets here. So it was just like, I just felt very stuck. I felt dumb. I felt like, like betrayed, like he played me. Like if you've been pregnant or you have kids and or you're pregnant, you just know how sensitive you are, you know, emotionally and mentally and things like that. So it fucked me up. But mind you, my baby shower in 3 weeks, and it's like, you know, what can I do? Now, the only reason that I kept all this to myself, and I'm being so transparent, y'all, when I say, like, I'm gonna take accountability on my end and, you know, say my piece, like, these were my real raw emotions. I felt stupid, and I didn't want anybody to know that, you know, it was kind of like a, you know, told you so type of moment, and I didn't want anybody to have like that upper hand or to be able to look at me and like with a judgmental eye, like nothing like that. So I kept it to myself. I kept everything to myself. The second major like event during my pregnancy that really like caused regret was my maternity shoot. My outfit didn't come on time, so I had to improvise the outfit. I had to change my whole concept idea. So many things had went wrong, and so we finally get there, and Tyree, he says he gotta play. He gotta play. So I'm like, okay, like, I'm thinking it's about to be something quick or the dude outside. If you know, you know what that is. But he never came back. He never came back to the maternity shoot. Like, I literally had to call him when it was over with and shoot everything by myself. He didn't get in one picture with me. And so at that time, I just felt like, you know, like, is this something that he want? Or like, you know, I'm kind of like realizing like this is something that I may have to go through by myself. I was very confused. I was very stuck. I was just kind of like mentally preparing myself like, okay, this might not go as planned. So it wasn't until my son was born, my son's birthday, January 6th, I had him on a Wednesday. I woke up, Tyree told me he was going downstairs to go get me breakfast, and he never came back. He never came back. He left me in the hospital that whole day up until like 9:30 something at night. He didn't come back for that whole day. He left me in the hospital. I'm on a baby monitor, and he at home on the phone with another girl. I had crashed. I had gotten into a car accident when I was pregnant, so my car, we were only using his car. We were still living with his parents at the time. If this is that, then it's just that, and I can't go back on the decision now. My son is here. So we ended up leaving the hospital, and I will say that after I had my son, like my whole emotions towards him changed because of how good he was with my son, with our son. That just like completely like changed like my whole trajectory, like of trying to get things and just get myself together to kind of like move on, move out. And again, like if you know me personally, you know I do have a lot of pride. So it was like I refused to go back home, and like, he was just like on daddy duty, like hands on. It wasn't like no dad or mom roles. Like he woke up at night, he was working. He really, you know, tried to put his best foot forward to make up for, you know, everything that I was feeling, that he knew I was feeling, and make it up by just being there for me, being there for Cody as well. I feel like Cody definitely brought us together, and we valued the family unit that we had established more than whatever else we was dealing with before then. May, he put a down payment on my car. I had got a car. So it was just like a lot. Like we was really moving in a positive direction. He had got a PPP loan, got the food truck. He ended up selling the food truck, and he reinvested all that money back into the bags. That's all that money, like things were definitely just like very stable. Things really didn't get bad. December was like, for me, I was really like standing on, we just need to separate, we just need to go our own way. I guess he was upset about me terminating the pregnancy, but at the time it was just like, you know, how can you be mad that I want to terminate a pregnancy? So it just like reopened a can of worms for me, like just the trust and everything else. Everything was jeopardized. I had started talking to Trey. Now, Trey had called me. It was very
This bitch died like a gunner. You ask me. Bitch, well, not really though. She just keep. I don't know what you call them bitches, bro. Put that in the comments. What you call a bitch like that? Like the bitch that just keep going back and forth between the two same niggas. Like, but you fucking both of them. What the fuck, bitch? You think that shit sweet?
Ironic that he called me like right after everything had happened between me and Tyree. He had called me off a block number. When I answered, it was him, and we started speaking again. Mind you, I had just terminated the pregnancy, and I had just called Tyree on the phone with the girl. So when he called, I entertained it. I had seen him. We had went out. I seen him, and I started seeing him all the way up until January. And I started talking to Trey again. Tyree had found out that I was talking to him. One day I had went out, and I believe like my iPad or something like that, he had seen the messages on my iPad and found out that I was talking to him again. We got into a big fight. He ended up punching me in my face, choking me, like just the whole nine. Like it was bad. Like it just.
When I decided to share Tyree's story, it was for the benefit of his son, Cody. A couple weeks ago, I decided that I was gonna stop my attempts for trying to see his son. The reasoning for that and the reasoning for all of this was through everything that happened, through all the situations, through court, through all of that, I always wanted to keep his son's best interests forefront. I didn't care about nothing else. I didn't care about who did what, who said what, who felt some type of way about me. I didn't care about any of that. All I cared about was Cody, making sure Cody was straight, the way that I knew that my son loved him. And so after attempts of trying to see him, I was disrespected one time too many. And people that know me, people that really know me, know that I could take a lot, but I'm not going to take but so much. And so I had to accept the fact that Cody, when he gets older, whenever that is, I wanted him to search for his father and find out the truth. And so that's how this story started. So, again, ever since Tyree's death, especially after his trial, I was approached several times on telling his story, whether right, wrong, indifferent. And I always said no. Like I don't want to shed this story. I want to just make sure, the people that's involved, everybody's protected. Then after that last attempt, I put my guards down and I said, let's just do what we gotta do. So when the story first started, the first couple days, I was behind Tyree's page. I was the one celebrating, talking about him, talking about his life and his legacy and all of that type of stuff. One of my good girlfriends is a publicist, and she said, we have to make sure that this is done correctly, legally, correctly. If we're gonna tell it, we're gonna tell it correctly. So she took over the story, and we both want to thank her, because when she took over the story took a complete change. It's on national levels. When I tell you, I see every DM you guys send. We love you. Whether you send it to his page, whether you send it to me, whether you send it to his dad, whether you text me, whether you call me, we get them. And I can't answer everybody, but I do want to let you know that I appreciate it, because this is exactly what he would have wanted. As you guys know, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time speaking on irrelevancy, because a lot of it's irrelevant, but as you guys know, Tyree was murdered on June the 13th. Whatever variations of the story you want to believe, it doesn't matter to me, but he was murdered in a place that he thought he called home. Okay, he was at this place that he rested his head at, and he thought it was his home. So For whatever reason that took him to that place that night, I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm not in his mind. I can only go on what preceded him and what I learned after the fact. And what we learned after the fact through his messages, through all of his attempts, he didn't go to that residence by no accounts expecting what he expected. As a parent, I have always made it my duty to allow my kids. We felt like we raised our kids to be family oriented. They have one mother, one father. We have 4 children together. We didn't show them. Hold on one second. We didn't show them indecencies. We always showed them how important family was. Whether you argue, whether you fight, like, it's important to have that backbone in your family. So we taught them that at an early age. It's evident from his attempts is he was trying the same thing for his family. One thing that I can say that I regret is allowing him to try to find his way for someone who did not want what he wanted. And I wish if I could go back 2 years that I could have told him that you're better. You're a lot better than that. Like, I don't care what you do, what you say, you deserve so much better. He made it a point to keep his family business away from us, which rightfully so. His problems he didn't never really share with us, and I wish he would have, because I could have gave him motherly advice that could have possibly saved his life. So if I want to talk about what I regret, that's what I regret. I feel like he lost his life for the love of his life, and I honestly feel that. No matter what she says or what she does, she can't change that. She knows. No matter what, she knows deep down. Whatever she wants to portray for the internet, that's on her. Whatever she wants to portray for the masses, that's on her. But deep down in her heart, she absolutely knows what the truth was. Now, a few things we do want to clarify. I never said that she set him up. We told the story. The story as we learned it in court, after court, through detectives. The social media took the black and white and came to with their own conclusion of what happened. So don't blame social media and what's actually portrayed as the truth that we kept a secret to hide behind that. And at the end of the day, she, her family, his family will never, ever, ever feel the way that we feel, because they didn't lose a child. If you don't know what it's like to be heartbroken every single day, you can't judge me. You can't judge his father. We hold each other up every single day. When we wake up, he goes to work and he'll send me a message and say, I want to encourage you today. It's those things that keep me going each day. As a parent, you should never have to bury your child and then have to bury your child and have to deal with the pain after you bury your child. When people make fun of somebody else's death, God has his own vengeance. That's not a vengeance for me. That's not a vengeance for him, and that's not a vengeance for our angel. God will handle his own vengeance. God knows exactly what happened, exactly what the intentions were, and exactly what the expectations were. I'm not here to judge anyone. So no matter what she says about me or my family, it's irrelevant. Words, when we grew up, my mother always told me words don't hurt you. Your words will never hurt me. What you did do that hurt me was you took something that was important, which was my son. So you can say whatever you want to say. You can never give me back what I brought into this world. And then to laugh it off, you and whoever else, I want you to understand, and I want to say this clearly, it's not a game. It's not a game. It's only two people in this world that I wish this pain on. Two. And I have friends and I have enemies. You can be my enemy and I still wouldn't wish this type of pain on you. But there are two people. And those two people are the murderer, his mother. She needs to feel my pain. I wish every day that I go to bed that when she wakes up, she feels this pain. Because she will never understand the pain that a mother has to bury. She'll never understand that until she goes through it. She gets to see her son. She gets to call her son. She gets to put money on his commissary. She gets to see him in 15 years or however many years when he comes home. So she'll never understand my pain. The only other person is her mom. The reason why
my baby sleeps so much better in a kite sleep bag. There are so many colors to choose from, and the bamboo fabric is like a dream. It's soft, silky, and the bag has a J-shaped double zipper that lets me change diapers without waking my baby up. The sleep bags come in 3 TOG ratings, 5 sizes, and different styles for him to grow into. The best part is that the material is really gentle on his skin, and it keeps him comfortable, so we can both sleep through the night.
her mom needs to experience this pain is because as a mother, you can't justify you can't make light of what your child did. And until you experience one of your children being buried, you're never going to understand my pain. You're never going to understand my purpose because it hasn't happened to you. Right now, your only focus is to protect your child, not realizing your child puts other people in a situation to lose their child. So I don't expect you to feel my pain. But one day, when you do, whether you admit it or not, you'll say, I understand how she felt and why she felt that way. Until then, you'll never understand the pain that we experience. So again, I personally want to thank everybody that has reached out. My God, the support, the state's attorney, the support of people calling in is unbelievable. Unbelievable. The detectives knew what they were dealing with. They knew it wasn't all truth to the story. But sometimes timing is everything, right? Timing is everything. So we decide to celebrate Tyree's life, his legacy. You feel like you have to defend yourself. And in defending yourself, you actually tell some of the truths that was never told before. And what you have to realize, you should never forget what you say or do. Because one thing is, when you're honest, the truth is the truth. Whether it's now or 2 years later, you're never going to forget what you say. When you're not honest, you end up telling on yourself. And you end up telling the truth. So whatever that may be, I'm going to pray for you. Because you need it. And at the end of the day, what's coming, you deserve. Now, anybody that knows me, and nobody can tell you no different, they can do an interview, 2, 4, 20 of them. I don't care what you do. One thing you'll never be able to do in those interviews is pull any black and white on what Tyree's mother, ever said in a disrespectful manner to anybody. I always kept a clear conscience for the support of my son and his memory. I never, ever, whether I felt it or not, whether I believed it or not, I never, ever called you out your name, disrespected you, said anything negative about you, ever. And I don't have no reason to lie. I'm 45 years old. Now, ask me today, no, I don't like you. Now I watch what has happened. I absolutely don't like you. And I understand why you felt like I shouldn't have liked you. Because you always felt in your guilty conscience, you always felt that his family didn't like you. Now I see why. And I don't. And the world knows it now. Prior to this moment, I never felt that way. But now that you showed me who I always knew you were, I'm letting you know I don't. And I understand why you will have to lie and portray that my family is this evil people that we were never were to you. You live with us. You didn't live with your parents. You didn't live with your family. You lived with us. We took care of you when you had nobody else to take care of you. We never turned our back on you when you had nobody else. Let's be absolutely clear. Your mother wasn't there. I didn't meet your mother till 2 years after you was with Tyree. If we're telling the truth, let's tell it. You were in my house. You ate my food. You laid in my bed. And then to say that this family who took you in as their own are these evil people, you're absolutely crazy. And I hope that you get the help that you absolutely deserve, because you need help. You need a lot of help. Because in your mind, what you believed about us is what we should have believed about you. And that's what you have shown us. You've shown us all of these mean things that you and your family have portrayed against my family is how we should have felt. How we should have felt. And thank you for showing me that. Because sometimes it takes time to show people who you absolutely are. But one thing is, once you show me once, you don't never have to show me again. Ever. Because I understand exactly what's in front of me. So, in this story, this is the absolute truth. Tyree walked into their home.
President Trump, let Americans, not big banks, choose the services that work for them.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform made for anyone with an idea and a drive to bring it to life. Describe what you want and watch it take shape. You can plan, customize, and expand in any direction. From tools built.
He was murdered. There were two stories. One was that the person who murdered him waited for him to enter the room and shot him multiple times. He emptied the clip. He shot 16 times. The story soon changed when forensic evidence came out. And the forensic evidence stated that the person stood over the bed and shot at him. That's the absolute truth. So whether they were up, sleep, I don't know, but that is what happened. Okay? After he was shot, he, because that's what he is to me, call him the murderer. The murderer went on about his business, and the girl, whatever she is, asked her sister to call 911. The 911 tape was revealed. There was a few attempts to try to resuscitate him. The dog, the family dog that lived in the house, was more important than my son's body. Laying dead. She was looking for her dog. Whatever the dog, King, whatever the name was in the 911 tape, it says She's yelling out the door for the dog. My son is laying in the bedroom, dead. The reason why I share this is I don't care. It could be anybody. I don't have to know you. If a person is laying in front of me, lifeless, I'm going to make every attempt that I possibly can to try to save that person. At no point will an animal be more important than a lifeless body. At no point. Once that happened, I was called. As you saw from the transcript, I was called before 911 was called. We immediately got to try to figure out how to get there. I've never been to this house before, so I was asking for the address. In trying to get to this location, I'm calling my son. I'm calling everybody, like 911, like, we got to get here. I don't know what's going on. We have to get here. I was initially told, and I will never forget this, ever forget this. My exact words when I picked up the phone was screaming at her. I was like, oh my God, what's going on? It was 3:32 a.m. Do you know just about every single day I wake up at 3:32 a.m.? Just about every single day since that happened, I wake up at that exact time. It was screaming and hollering, and she said, oh my, Tyree's been shot. And I'm like, what happened? Oh my God, is he okay? It's the first thing I said, is he okay? She said, no. And I'm like, what happened? She said, someone ran in here and shot him. It's like, quote, unquote. I immediately called my son because they were together. So I'm like, did someone follow him home? I'm frantic, like I'm going off. And my son is like, I don't know, like he left the club. And so we were trying to figure it out. Through all of that, when we arrived on the scene, it was 2 officers. So I'm like, what hospital did he go to? Again, these are things I will never, ever forget, ever forget. And the officer said, he's not at a hospital. So what you mean he's not at a hospital? What hospital? Like, I'm freaking out. I'm screaming, hollering. So he's in the house. So at that point is when we knew he had passed away. My exact next question to the officer is, did you find out who did it? Did you find out who did it? And his exact words to me was her boyfriend. At that time, to me, that was news. So, fast forward a week forward, Tyree called me. We were in Jamaica, and he said, Ma, I need to come home. And I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, I just need to get her space. We got some stuff going on. Like, I don't want to be here. It's his exact words. I have text messages. Through that, I said, of course, absolutely. Like, I'm never going to turn my back on my kids, ever. Absolutely. Come get. He said, me and Cody. Him and Cody, they didn't come Monday. They didn't come Tuesday. They still lived in that home those days. Wednesday is the first night of that week that he spent in our address. Through that, through the couple days, they were cordial. They were talking. I shared some of his last stories. Like, he was normal. He was normal. He was not what was portrayed of him. Stories don't lie. Text messages don't lie. Like, I can't make this up. That Saturday, he was walking around because he couldn't get in contact with Cody. He was like moping. He was like, I don't know what's going on. I can't get in contact with Cody. He's supposed to be in Florida. He's trying to figure out what's actually going on. He wanted to talk to his son. He has messages to her sister. Like, is Cody with y'all? Is he okay? Like, that's what a normal person's supposed to do that care about their son. You know how many young people out here that don't take care of their kids or not family? He cared. He cared about his family. So through that, again, they conversated throughout Sunday. They conversated throughout the day. They went back and forth. Some of the messages were shared. He, by no means, had the impression that they weren't together. Okay, so we been married 25 years. We ain't been together a lot of times during the 25 years, but have we ever really like not been together? Like, let's be honest. 25 years. That's how long we've been married. How many times have we not been together in 25 years, but we still sitting right here today? So this completely broken up, not together, I'm sure that's not what he actually believed in his heart. Hers, maybe. Then, so I don't give views because at the end of the day, to be honest with you, I ain't watch video 1 or 2 because it don't matter. You won't get a like or a view from me. But I did hear some bits and pieces about it. You say on that particular video, when you talk about my son, my deceased son, who was your caretaker, when you talk about him, you say, you know how people do back and forth. We all know what we doing. We all with different people. No, I don't know that. You know that? Oh, yeah. We don't understand that. I'm sure our son didn't even. He wasn't really raised like that. He wasn't raised with all him and his siblings having like different fathers, you know, back and forth, not in the home. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't raised like that. So where you insinuated that everybody should know, you know, how people do, we don't know that. So I'm sure he didn't. I can speak for him on that. So when we went to trial is when most of this stuff opened up. Now, the murderer was offered a plea deal. He was offered
3 to 8.
3 to 8 years. 3 to 8 years. He turned it down because honestly, in his heart, he felt he did nothing wrong. He felt like he was defending what he thought was his family. I don't know why, but he did. So he turned down the plea deal. Right before trial, I was contacted by his attorney asking if we would, so the family has to be a part of the plea deal. Like, you know, you have to be a part of the agreement. So trial was supposed to start on Monday. We were contacted Friday, late Friday evening, asking was the deal still on the table. And what did we say? No, I can't.
I was thinking about it, but the lawyer said no.
Right. So he was thinking about taking that deal. He probably should have, but he didn't. But God works in mysterious ways. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why God works in mysterious ways. If he would have took that deal, we would not have known none of the stuff that we know today. If he would have took that deal, we wouldn't have known the before and after of what we know today. And as much as it hurt us to sit there in court, not only seeing our son's body shot up, because in court, in trial, you see the real life pictures. Not only seeing him laying there with a bullet to the back of his head, with a bullet to his neck, with 14 bullets to his back. Not only did it hurt us to see that, we learned the truth behind the story. And as hard as it was for us to accept the truth, we learned the truth. We had to sit through testimony.
Hey everybody, Brian is giving away $100 gift vouchers to everyone whose junk we make disappear.
Different people testified. And one of the testimonies were the owner of the home. Her testimony said Tyree lived there. Contrary to what's being told today. Cody's mom was on stand for 2 days. We have 789 pages of transcript. Y'all only saw 14 pages. 14. A transcript is a public record that anybody can obtain. You can hear word for word her story out of her own mouth. I don't have to tell her story. She told her own story. We didn't make this up. We didn't ask for this and we didn't make this up. We have no reason to lie. None at all. Then you heard his story on what he felt like happened. And he didn't really have a story, honestly. He was just as dumb as he looked on the stand. And he honestly looks like somebody that just don't know no better. Like, he just was caught up, just like Tyree was. They was caught up in these looks, material stuff, and they thought they hit the jackpot. And really, both of them hit bankrupt. Both of them. So what may seem like is good is not always good. And I hope that from his story, it changes somebody's life. We have had so many DMs, oh my God, this is happening to me, I need to get out. Like, please, save yourself. Nobody and nothing is worth your life. He was such a good individual. No matter what these people say about us, our family is unbreakable. And if you don't know that by now, you should know that. Your little words of talking about our family don't hurt us. That actually inspire us to go a little bit harder on you. You can't hurt us. You can't break us. We still standing. So you can say he didn't like his family. Okay, that's what you think. I don't have a point to prove. I don't have to prove who my son was to me. He don't got to prove who his son was to him. His brothers don't got to prove who he was to them. That's your misconception. And that's because you came from a broken family and you don't know what a family is. So therefore, we expect someone to say that because of how you feel. So us telling this story has opened up so much light on the case again. So thank you. Continue sharing it. Continue calling. Continue celebrating Tyree's life. Continue. If you don't think it's making a difference, it's making a huge difference. And that's nobody but him above. Nobody. That is Tyree above causing the havoc that he has always caused. Because he's saying, I'm not going to let you. One thing about him, he ain't play about me. Y'all can say what y'all want to say. He will go to the war about his mother. And when that person sent me that message on March 25th, I didn't share it with nobody. Did I share it with you? Mm-mm. I didn't share it with my daughter. I didn't share it with my sons because I already know who they are and what they about. If they would have saw the level of disrespect that was given to me on the message, they saw it when it was posted online. Their raw emotions came when same time you saw it. I'm not messy like that. She sent that message. I said, oh, this what we doing? Okay. Because this big back, whatever she called me, I got you, boo. And by me having you, before I went to custody for his son, I told Miles, I said, I don't want to take Cody from his only surviving parent. I had all the evidence in the world to take Cody. If I could do things again, would I? Probably so. But guess what? Them tables gonna turn. And what seems like something today is not gonna stay that way forever. I was given anonymously, over 3,000 hours of recording after Tyree's death that will write her own fate. And it don't got nothing to do with Tyree. It's her lifestyle that she chose to live. You heard some of the recording, so I have no reason. I'm not making it up. I wouldn't have had a recording of her and her new boyfriend if that wasn't given to me. I wouldn't have a recording of her telling Cody, fuck ZZ. And you know, I had to look at this girl every time she brought Cody to me, knowing she teaching my grandson to say that about me. But God had a better plan, and he got a better plan for me. Fuck ZZ inspires me because it shows me how much I really mean to you. That you would teach your 2-year-old son, to be disrespectful to his blood. How would I get that? I wasn't with you. I wasn't in the car with y'all. And you know what you said in those cars. You know what you said in those homes. So you know what I got. And we're going to leave that there, and we're going to let that case take its own way for you and whoever else that's involved. Sometimes timing is everything. People write their own fate. What you thought you got away with today, you'll pay for it in another way, and it may not even be Tyree's murder. You cannot be out on the street, walking the streets, and living a foul life. I don't care what you say about me. I don't care what you do. I don't care. Because one thing you can't do, when it comes to mine, I'm going to do what's necessary.
Like she said, I'm Tyree's dad. I've been intaking a lot of this stuff. A lot of stuff I've been preparing, looking over, watching things before they viewed, looking at a lot of scenarios. A lot of people here know me and know how I am. I'm a real laid-back type of parent, definitely. Never force my ill will on my kids to tell them what to do or what not to do, what to say or what not to say. I let them grow on their own. But I want to say this to everybody that's out there. Be careful who you let in your house. And that's how I am. Because you got to be real cautious who come in your home. Because the same people that eat at your table is the same people that are shit on your table. And I make myself clear. I don't have to stunt for nobody. Most of my good friends and my good people that know me and my family, that know how I am, I've always been about family. And my son carried the same traits. From the day his son was born to the day he was murdered, he had his son in his care. Nobody could tell him nothing different. He didn't leave his son for nothing. The same way I raised him. For me, and like I say, you know who you are. You can talk greasy as you want to greasy about me. You don't know nothing about me. So let me make that self clear. But let me also make sure you understand something clear. COVID started, for everybody that don't understand, March 16th of 2020. All right? March 16th of 2020. You couldn't do eyebrows, you couldn't do lashes, you couldn't paint no nails because you couldn't be around people. I kept a roof over top of your head. I kept food in your mouth. I kept you getting a car to make sure you drive. My son ensured that you had a car that you couldn't pay for. Anybody that had that type of mentality or mindset to take care and provide for you, then so-called we have my grandson, which is my grandson. At the end of the day, he ain't want for nothing. You took him to deprive from him, and I still see where I could put some decent things in his lifestyle, send him to school and pay for it, where he was learning his A's, B's, and C's. No public assistance here. He had it. You took from him because you figured that's a way to get back. But what you got back at is depriving your own child not to have a better life than you did. I'll make myself clear. You deprived him to have a better life than you did, and that's your own child. At the end of the day, what you did, that's between, like my wife said, you and God. But I want to put this out there because it's somebody that need to hear this. I said it before. Be careful who you let in your house. Because you can love people more than people love you. It's going on every day in, day out. People got alternative motives. And the only motive I can read in this whole story is you let somebody get up on somebody. And everybody, definitely young people, it was almost like the play. And y'all ran the play. But I want to clear another part of that statement up. Tyree ain't kicked no door in. Tyree ain't pried no door. He ain't come through the back door. He hit the code. We all got codes on doors. He hit the code on the door. Opened the door.
Just like she had to go to our house.
Pretty much.
But would never have to worry about walking in here getting laid out.
But think about this. If I'm going in to get somebody, not taking my shoes off to walk up some steps and open a closed door to not know what's behind the closed door. I'm basically going in there to get in the bed. That's what I'm doing. This could have went either way, y'all. I'm telling y'all, I don't call it honest truth. This could have went either way, and I respect that. But at the end of the day, if Tyree would have known who was in that house, he wouldn't have put himself in that situation. And he was in that situation because of his love, of what he thought was genuine. And genuine wasn't nothing but a fraud, a fake, and a phony.
Materialistic.
Exactly what I got. I can tell you over the years, I sat back. These people can't tell you nothing about me because I ain't talked to them like that. And I said just like that. Over the years, I was a high and by guy. You know it. I was a high and by guy. But now I'm going to speak out because I'm going to say this. I got a daughter. No, am I going to disrespect? I got a daughter. God rest her soul, I had a sister. I got a wife and a mother. There's 4 women in my life.
And a niece.
And a niece.
And a granddaughter.
And a granddaughter. 2 granddaughters. All right? So I'm adding all that up, right? Here's my thing. And I go to say this, and those for the ones that's listening. You in a relationship and what your relationship is about between you and your relationship, right? But when you figure that the relationship is over, you make sure that you understand that the relationship is over. Through this situation, made me really understand that the person that my son loved and thought he had that 100% trust, I don't use the word setup because I never said that, right? But you knew what was going on. You knew what was going on. You knew that when the person that provided for you, took care of you, you thought it was a thing to get up under his skin by running to the other.
Monday.com, the opposite of any work platform we tried in the past. We tried other work management platforms, not naming names. They all suck. Monday, total opposite. It didn't just work, it spread. And people became Monday evangelists. And you know why? Because people actually...
Right? But here's the other part for you. Here, I took 100 pounds of shit to put it in took 100 pounds of shit to put it in a 10-pound bag. I had to go pick a man up to bring a man to my house. When I had a man that could come see me in his own vehicle. I don't make this stuff up. This stuff not made up. This is exactly what it is. But through love and respect, my man respected you. Nobody lived like the Cosbys, and I'm going to say that 100 times. Nobody I know lived like the Cosbys. Everybody got their issues. But one of the dangerous things you can ever mess with is inviting another man into another man's home. That's fine, point blank. Because I know Tyree, I knew Tyree pretty well. He wouldn't have did, if the shoe was on the other foot, it wouldn't have been the same thing. Because he had respect and decency. And he had some morals. But I had to get that off my chest. I say this about my grandson because at the end of the day when my wife started this out, and like she told y'all, it came from a text message that was developed on Easter. I had already had my sayings back at Christmas. And on Christmas, I made a call to say, hey, you know, I like to say Merry Christmas to my grandson. And it was fuck you type situation and hung the phone up. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, I cut it off there for me.
You did.
I cut it off there for me. We went through the little court proceedings. I cut things off because here's my take on the situation. I can't go beyond whatever somebody want me to do, and that's fine. I have no issue with that. But what I can say, and I've had a few friends that been in that situation coming up, and I remember my past, what I can say is I feel sorry because my grandson has got the same blood. And this blood, that same blood that you laid with and had a baby with is my blood. It's a Richardson blood. And the son only got the same blood his daddy got. And I'm going to tell you this. Tyree Ward was a pistol coming up. And you going to have hell on your hands to deal with that young man by yourself. Mark my words.
So again, you know, we just wanted to take this opportunity. It's not to bash nobody. Like, we beyond that. Let them live in their whatever. Their materialistic mindsets. Like, I go to work every day. My life is taken care of. Like, I don't need social media. And for all the people that say that we monetize off of this, check your facts. I ain't monetized $1. His account is not monetized at all. This is all for the story for my grandson. When you have your own money, you ain't gotta find ways to make money. So maybe you should learn that. Get your own. But this is not monetized. Story has been told, not sold. Any blogger, any article, any news outlet that reached out to me, let me know what I asked you for. Or what you paid me in return outside of the story. Show them receipts. Because you ain't got them. It's not for money. I don't do things for money. My son's life wasn't about money. I'll give up everything I got to see my child again. Everything. I would give up my last breath to give him breath. I absolutely would. When you born off of materialistic stuff, that's how you think. That's how your mindset is. That's not how we are over here. And so if you thought this was about money, you thought wrong. This is for Cody when he gets older to see what it really is. And when he does, I'm going to pray for you. Because like I said, at the end of the day, when he turned 18, 19, whatever age he is, Cody, we got your father chain for you. It won't get touched till we see you again. We got all his money that he put up. That's all yours. I don't need that. That's why I go to work every day. That's why I have a job. Take care of myself. I don't need none of that. All Tyree stuff that he had, we ain't seen. We got a few pieces. I don't know if it's being saved for the boy to get out. I don't know. But I wish you the best because that materialistic stuff don't mean nothing to us. But what will mean when Cody's old enough, he will get what his father had for him. He will be taken care of. Unfortunately now,
America has taken out some lethal adversaries, even ones that look like this. From Alzheimer's to cancer, we must keep leading the fight, developing the best treatments and protecting our national security.
it is what it is. To Cody, I love you. I love you like you were my own son. No, I don't want to be your mother as it was accused. I want to be your grandmother. I have 4 other grandchildren. I wanted to do what my son would have done for you outside of the life that they portrayed that we did. We will always be here for you. You will always be our family. As long as you okay, we okay. And I'm okay with that. I can't allow someone to destroy, try, not destroy, because you'll never destroy. I'm bigger than that, baby. Way bigger than that. Try to destroy who I am, what we believe in. You'll never be able to accomplish that. Because I know who I am. I know what I say. I know what my beliefs are. I don't hide behind social media. And I'm damn sure not hiding behind nobody else. It won't happen. And when the day comes, you'll know just as well as everybody else. Because this isn't a game of revenge. God has his own vengeance. His own. That's bigger than me. What I would want to happen, God has a whole nother plan. And when you turn your life over, what you probably need to do, you'll learn that. It took me a while. And you're right. It's not a day that I don't cry. Absolutely. I absolutely do. It's not a day that I don't wake up sad. Yes, I absolutely do. It's not a day that goes by that I don't think about my son throughout the day, multiple times. 2 years later. My days don't get better. And I don't expect them to. But what I'm not going to do is let his name die in vain. So, again, thank you for everybody, all your support. We've seen it. Everybody that's been watching, like, it's surprisingly, you can walk past me and I know you watching the story. It's okay to say, I'm praying for you. Like,
keep your head up.
Keep your head up. You don't have to, like, hide that you're watching it. It's supposed to be watched for a reason. So, you can say that. I also want to thank everybody that shared the story and continue to share the story. We are, Tyree's album is going to be released. He had 31 unreleased songs. It took me 2 years. I control everything that comes out of his portfolio. It took us 2 years to release. And when I tell you it's probably his best album, I keep saying every time I listen to it, he knew. He knew. And when you get to experience these 31 songs, you're going to say the same thing. Keep his legacy alive. People always say God doesn't make mistakes. I go to church. I'm a God-fearing person, but I think God made a mistake on this one. He took someone way too soon. If it was a car accident, I might could accept it a little bit better. If it was a freak accident, I might could accept it a little bit better. This is hard for me to accept. And I understand we don't know our day, time, minute, but if I could have spoken to God, I would have rather I lived my life. I did everything I was supposed to do to allow someone else to just get a few more minutes, a few more seconds. It would have been worth it. He left his legacy. His album will be released on his birthday. We are grateful for all the love and all the support. Yes, each day is hard. Each day continues to be hard. This isn't made up. Like, we don't have no makeup crew. We don't got no TV crew. This is real life. It's real life, raw emotions. And people need to learn that. His biopic will be coming out. I have to make sure every detail is right before we release it. And when I say every detail, I want the world to know who he was, the way he was, not how he was portrayed. So if it takes me 6 months to make sure every detail is given, it's going to take 6 months. His page, most days I wasn't even able to watch. Shit is gut-wrenching.
ULA is the industry's most experienced and accurate launch provider. Our Vulcan rocket offers higher performance and extreme precision. It's the world's only high-energy architecture rocket.
I wasn't even able to watch his page most days. But I built up enough strength to allow the story to be told. And I'm glad it was told. I'm glad it will continue to be told. And hopefully it'll change the perception of someone else that might be going through something. Like, save yourself. Care about yourself first. Somebody that's for you for your money, they not with you. When we first got together 25 years ago, we've been married 25 years, been together 28 years. Did we have anything? I don't even remember. We was in high school. We grew together. Sometimes I'm up, sometimes he up. Like, that's how relationships work. It's never all in. Learn from that, y'all. Like, honestly, material stuff don't last forever. So, that's something you want to say?
No, I thank everybody for their time for watching tonight. And always remember, I done met a lot of people. I done helped a lot of people, and a lot of people that helped me. I'm all based about community, and I think that's what our family genuinely on. Tyree knows so many people because we knew so many people. And by knowing so many people, just lending a hand, helping out, just being a good, genuine person has taken us a long way. So I just want to make sure that's told.
Celebrate him. I know his brother's doing something for him. Like, celebrate him the way that he would celebrate. He turned 22. It's my favorite number. So we going all the way up. His gravesite is on Friday. Is going down. And we going to continue to celebrate his life. Yeah, I'm going to cry. I'm going to be sad, but I'm okay. Trust me, I'm okay. Don't feel bad for me. Just save yourself. Continue to pray for his sisters. Continue to pray for his, like, our kids haven't been right. I'm not right, but I'm strong. Pray for them. Like, they are going through it. To lose a sibling is probably just as hard as losing a child. So we just want to make sure that, you know, cherish your loved ones while they're here. If y'all arguing, like, go give them a hug. Like, it's not worth it. And I know there's tons of people out there that have lost their kids like we have, and can relate to our pain. But I only want 2 people in this world to experience this type of hurt. And I already told y'all who that is. Everybody else, cherish your family, because you won't know what it's like. We love everybody. The main thing, don't let nobody in your home. Yes, please. Take anything that we could have shared. Again, this wasn't to bash anybody. We're not them type of people, whether they want us to be or not. In the end, God has a say. So I don't have to get on here and say what y'all already know. God will deal with that. Continue to keep us in prayer. Continue to keep Cody in prayer. My God, Cody needs it. Please, y'all. Keep him in prayer.
They lifted.
Keep him lifted. I know his dad is watching over him, but keep that baby boy lifted. He will need it. He gonna have I'm not gonna say he's gonna have a hard road, because I know his dad is gonna have his best interest in hand. But keep him lifted. Just keep us all. Thank you for taking the time to sit with us. Thank you for the time for hearing us out. Again, 426, his album's dropping. It's not monetized. His proceeds go straight to his son's estate, which we already have set up. This baby boy is already set. So anybody thinks this is monetary, go find your life somewhere, because we ain't got time for that. But support him. Support his life, support his dream. And by supporting him, you're supporting his son, who will be set when he is 18 and he ready to become set. So keep us in prayer. Keep calling the state's attorney. They said y'all flooding it. Listen, you opened up way more doors than we ever would have expected. So one thing you should never do is lie under oath or change your story. Just don't say shit. Plead the fifth. I don't know what happened. That's what I would have said if I was gonna lie. Just being honest with y'all. I'm keeping it 100. I don't know. You can't never come back and say I didn't know. But again, when people feel like they gotta tell their truth, they actually tell the truth, and thank God for that. God is exposing things in so many ways. So we love you all. Tyree loved you all. The love and support has been overwhelming. The flowers, the fruit baskets, like, if it made it all feel like we were back in June again. Again, we received it all, and we thank you. We weren't telling this story for any of that. We was only telling this story to get his story out. So keep him in prayer. We're going to continue to celebrate him on his page. Again, it's me now celebrating him. I don't think I need the publicist to come back in, but if she got to jump back in with her facts, she will. So if y'all have pictures, videos, we're going to allow people on Sunday to come live and share some of your best stories that you might have had with him. We're going to save these lives for his son. So when you see us go live Sunday, that's your opportunity to want to join, to share maybe a fun time, a fun opportunity. I know we all have so many stories. Tyree was our wild child. I got so many stories. He was definitely the youngest in charge. He gave me the more gray hairs, but that was still my baby. And so, just on Sunday, if you want to share some words of encouragement for him, his son, his memory, it probably will be a part of his biopic. Just ask to join in, and that will be your opportunity.
Tyree Richardson was just 20 years old when he died. He was a son, a father, a brother, and a friend to many. His dreams of building a successful business and providing for his family died with him that night. But his story lives on as a warning. Be careful who you love, be careful who you trust, and be very careful who you let into your home. Because sometimes the person sleeping next to you is the same person planning your destruction. The question that haunts everyone who has followed this case remains: was Autumn Anderson an innocent victim caught in a tragic situation, or was she the mastermind behind an elaborate murder plot that finally went too far? Only time, and perhaps a new indictment, will tell. So that's it for today's video. Stay safe out there, and I hope these stories help you recognize warning signs and encourage you to seek help or offer support before it's too late. I'll see you in the next episode of Crime of Passion. Thank you for watching.
Why waste another summer not loving your body?
With Base 44, we turned that question into a successful business.
A woman has an average of 80 summers in her life. Our brand is about enjoying every single one.
We want women to feel secure in their own bodies
and to celebrate themselves. We got an opportunity for a pop-up.
And we needed a POS fast. Every system we looked at was too complex or didn't offer what we needed. Eitan had the best idea ever.
I thought that maybe we can do it with Base. I spent one evening working on Base, building it layer by layer, from checkout, sales and WhatsApp invoicing, through inventory management. By morning, we had a customized solution that actually worked.
Our first day was crazy.
People were standing in line outside the door.
They were like,
oh my God, thank you for making it happen.
I think it was the second day when I realized we're starting to sell out.
We had a list of over